Listen, I know a lot of y'all get no. There's a lot of reasons. Maybe it's because you don't shower. Maybe it's because you don't wipe your ass. Maybe it's because you're illiterate. Fill in the blank. Maybe you have no game. But I will tell you one thing, and one thing that can save your lame ass from having this insufferable disease of insufficient communication capacities, and that's wearing a suit. Austin, what's the saying that you love to say every time that we suit up?
Well, there's a couple. One, pretty girls love suits. Two, the power of a suit. And you'll notice more often than not when you go out, I don't know how you look, but if you go out with some just, could be what I have on right now, just some fucking sweatpants, a little long sleeve, a hat, whatever, you're probably not gonna get too many compliments on what you look like or what your attire is. And rightfully so. You don't have anything special, nothing memorable. Nobody's going to remember you that day because you had on that thing, right? Now, we were talking about saying what's up in our last podcast and, starting a conversation. And it's funny. My tattoo artist, NBR, he calls his tattoos that he does for people conversation pieces. Because the tattoo is so nice, done so masterfully, and drawn on to perfection, or tattooed on to perfection, that it has no choice, or people have no choice, but to say, nice tattoo, I like that. Where'd you get it from, And the same thing goes with your attire. When you go outside and you have on this, what I have on right now, again, not going to be memorable, but say that you, as a young adult, could be young, could be relatively older, it doesn't matter. But especially as a young adult, I will say, if you go outside with a nice pair of shoes, dress shoes, nice pair of slacks, nice pair of, or a nice button-down white shirt, nice suit, nice tie, haircut, your hygiene is on point. You look like you took care of yourself this morning, washed your face, fucking put on some cologne, right? A watch. And you walk down the street. I guarantee that someone is going to at least look at you and be like, interesting. And or say something to you. I cannot tell you how many fucking compliments that we got yesterday in our fucking suits walking down the street. And we didn't just do it just to do it. We had shit to do. But that's a nice Lamborghini. But we did that shit because we had shit to do, and people noticed and they were like, man, you two look very nice. You two look very dapper. Those are some nice suits. You guys look very sharp. All that, right? And I'm not saying that you should go out just to get compliments or whatever, but this goes to show you the power of a suit. That whenever we're dressed normally, we may not get as many compliments. We still get some, but we may not get as many compliments. But whenever we have a suit on, everybody and their mom literally is saying, you guys are just very nice today. And then imagine what that does for you when you have on a suit, you look clean, you look sharp like that. And then you mean business. You have business to talk about. You have business to conduct. At that point, you have allowed yourself to get ahead in the race compared to most people. Because where most people stop or start, they start with little to no fucking work on their appearance. But if you look like you mean business before you even talk business, that allows people to be more receptive to hearing about your business. So again, the power of a suit is something that I want all of you to experience because it's definitely very powerful.
And here's a quote from Deion Sanders that I love.
Wow.
If you look good, you feel good.
Uh-huh.
If you feel good, you play well.
Damn right.
And if you play well, they pay well.
Yes, sir.
We're in a game. And you need to perform. As in any game. You have to play well and you have to do well in order to earn your part and in order to earn your pay. In the ideal scenario, the better you play, the more you make. And that's just life. If you can help instrument the process of success in however minor it might be, you should do it. Whether that be upgrading your cologne, upgrading your wardrobe, sleeping an extra 30 minutes, working out a little more, adding some cardio, improving your diet, every minor tweak and detail that you can add to improve your performance is worth the return. Now, this is all assuming that you're already taking the steps, because you could be a fatso in a suit, but at the end of the day, they're only going to see a fatso. The only reason that we get the compliments and turn the eyes that we do is because of our stature. We're tall, we're lean, and we're fucking massive. Excuse me, my throat couldn't handle the truth right there. There was just a little too much going on. And I mean this to say, we have a saying in Spanish, I think. I don't know if it's an English saying as well. And that's that it's not the clothes, it's the pecha. So it's to say it's not the article of clothing, it's the hanger that it sits on.
So we have something where it's like, it's not on you, it's in you type of thing, you know?
Exactly. So, and that's a crazy statement.
Yeah.
Pretty girls.
Yeah.
It's not on you, it's in you.
Mm-hmm.
That might have gone over some of y'all's heads, but that's okay. That's why y'all need to be wearing suits.
Exactly.
So just because you get a suit, it doesn't make you anything. What I'm saying is you have to be the man under the suit. You have to be the one. You have to be the James Bond. You have to be the Shaft. You have to be all of it. And for you geniuses who want to say, oh, it's just a suit and oh, it's kind of expensive. I don't want to invest money in that. Well, look, you can get yourself a pretty damn good suit for under $300. And on top of that, you can go to the freaking thrift store. You can go to Goodwill and get yourself a mismatched pair of slacks and a fucking jacket for less than $100. I thought the bike was running from the cops. And that's perfectly fine. You have to make it work. You have to do with what you can. And one of the biggest things is if you dress like shit, bear with me, it looks like you don't take yourself seriously. Mm-hmm. And if you don't take yourself seriously, it doesn't matter whether you do or you don't. Other people will perceive you as somebody who doesn't take themselves seriously. And once that's the case, they won't take you seriously. And first impressions always last. And I know you might not like that, but it's the truth. So that first impression, if people the first time they meet you, they think that you don't take yourself seriously, they're never going to take you seriously. They will never take you seriously because you don't take yourself seriously.
That's very true. And one of the things that a good friend of ours said to us, Lamb, you know.
Shout out to, what is it, the Black Willy Wonka?
Yeah. And one of the things that he pointed out to us, which we kind of already knew, but we didn't apply it as much as we should have. He was basically like, he understood the fact that people see you first, and their first perception of you, their first thoughts of you are so crucial. And why he's able to do the things that he's able to do and get the opportunities that he has is because he always steps outside looking fresh, looking clean in a suit with some fucking shit that most people don't wear nowadays. And people always admire it and always say, hey, you have some nice shit on. And it starts the conversation. And they see that he puts all this effort into how he looks on a day in and day out basis, that they're like, wow, I want to know more. And once they talk to him about more, then there's the opening of opportunities for him to do business or do partnerships with whoever he's talking to, because he puts the effort into his look and his aesthetic every single day. And I will like to say this. I believe, and of course I wouldn't say directly, but it's a step in the right direction of getting you some ass. If you wear a suit, I believe, again, it's a step in the right direction that you wouldn't have been able to take prior to. If you have the suit on, a girl sees it, she'd be like, well, what the fuck? He has a nice suit on, a vest, a tie, a lapel pin, a nice watch, nice shoes, the whole nine, got a haircut, in good shape. What the fuck does he do? I want to know. It looks like he's a fucking businessman. Because here's the thing, right? With a suit on, you look like you're making money. You look like money. That's basically what a suit fucking represents. Fucking money. Looking good, looking clean. So even you could be the fucking brokest person on planet fucking Earth. You have a nice suit, a decent looking watch. The shit doesn't even have to be fucking expensive. It just looks like it's a version of an expensive watch. And you have some decent dress shoes that you can get for like $100 or some shit like that. You look like you're making hella fucking money. And when you look like that, people tend to notice. And when I say people, women especially. So it looks like you take care of yourself. You got a suit on in the middle of the fucking day, so it looks like you got something going for yourself. That opens a conversation or opens the doorway to them wanting to get to know who the fuck you are. And again, I'm not saying wear a suit just to get ass, but I will say that you wearing a suit is going against the norm and status quo of what today normally offers. People like to go out in fucking Crocs nowadays. People like to go out in fucking, pants sag and all that type of bullshit, right? So imagine people in our age range, like 25 to fucking 35, maybe even older, dressing like that. And then you show up with a fucking suit on, looking like you mean business. That goes a long way. You're not following the status quo. You're not following the trends. You're not following the norm. And when you think about it, to get to where you want to get to be exceptional, to be an exception, to be exceptional, you have to be an exception. You have to do the things that most people won't do. Where everybody is going on that path, it's clear, concise, everyone knows how to get from point A to point B. You're the one who's going on the other pathway, the unbeaten path, right? You're doing the things that people more often than not don't do. And in order to get to some type of success, that's the path that you're going to have to go on. Just like with wearing a fucking suit. If you want to get further in life, you're going to have to do the things and wear the things and, talk about things that more people don't fucking talk about because they're normal. That's what they do. They like being in the normal little group, the big group of just lackluster life and mediocrity, right? You don't want that. So if you don't want that, you're going to have to dress the part. You're going to have to look the part. You're going to have to smell the part. You're going to have to speak the fucking part. All of that leading up to why, again, though it's a small cog in the wheel, it is a piece of the wheel. And having that suit is very crucial, in my opinion, to building that person that you want to be. You want to be a successful person. You want to be a person that people look up to and say, hey, that guy has this shit going on. A suit can do that.
I'm going to make a reference to a very interesting situation that we had last night at a certain hotel bar where there was a lady with a gentleman.
I forgot about that.
And now, I know that they weren't on a date or anything. They were in a social group, but it doesn't matter. They came to the bar next to us while Austin and I are sitting there drinking our cocktails and eating, what was it? Swordfish?
Yeah, swordfish.
Smoked swordfish?
Yes.
Yes, smoked swordfish. Smoked swordfish. By the way, I'm not flexing on y'all. We've just never had that before, and it was it was actually pretty good.
It was pretty good.
So that's why I want y'all, if you have the opportunity, smoke swordfish. Give it a shot. But we're sitting there enjoying our evening, and this lady with a gentleman come next to us, and they're ordering another round of drinks at the bar. They're probably there for 10, 15 minutes perhaps. And then Austin and I, we've been talking and sitting, messing around with our bartender and everything. And they come behind us. And the lady just says, y'all look very sharp. And then just continues walking. That sounds great. 15 minutes. And until she was leaving, she chose to compliment us. But even then, she didn't have to compliment us. Unbeknownst, with another man. Mind you. And one of the details that I want to make clear is that the gentleman she was with was not dressed to the part. How embarrassing must it be to be in that situation where the girl or the lady that you're with compliments two other men who are complete strangers? And you don't even have to be romantically involved. It's just a stark contrast. You realize at that point in time, and I don't want to call him a loser, but in the context, you look like a loser. You're like the kid who can't keep up in a race in elementary school. You're the loser. And as it even makes me feel bad talking about it in the sense that it's a negative for him, but I see it as I would never want to be in that situation. And at this point, it's not even about what you're wearing. It's about where you are and what you're wearing. Because we've made the case that wear a suit. We haven't told y'all where to wear a suit to. And in reality, yes, you can wear it pretty much everywhere. You can't overdress for certain occasions. But when you're in a nice, classy establishment, why not look dapper? Why not look dapper? Why try to go against the grain rather than make the grain better? I understand the convention where people want to reject the norm and they're like, I don't want to wear a suit. I want to dress more business casual. And I get it. To a degree, I sympathize for it because if we're working in an office, we don't want to be suited up 24/7. You know, sometimes you want to take off that jacket. Sometimes it might be nice to just tuck your polo into your khakis and call it a day. I agree. However, there's a time and a place for all this. And if you're somebody who says, I shouldn't be taken any differently because I'm not dressed a certain way, you're just a conceited asshole because you're acting like you and you alone are in control of all the conventions that they're just going to change for you. That's not the case. If you come up looking like you're crusty, dusty, musty, and rusty, that's exactly how people are going to take you. And that's on you. That's on nobody else. If you think, well, they shouldn't hold that perspective of me, I'd say, well, maybe you should hold your perspective of yourself in a higher regard because you should be the kind of person that says, I don't deserve to be musty, crusty, dusty, and rusty. I deserve to be clean, fresh, dapper, good looking, smelling, in shape, fucking handsome. To me, that's the ultimate sign of respect. It's like the saying, if I give you a Ferrari, can I ensure that it'll be in tip-top shape when I ask for it in return? Do you take care of your things? You could have, for those of you who don't know, I have one suit and I have 3 jackets and I make it work. I put things in combinations, but I take care of my shit. So you'll never realize how often and how frequently I only wear that rotation of 3. Take care of your shit. You don't need a lot, but take care of your shit.
And you don't have to get the shit from fucking Gucci or Tom Ford or some shit like that where you have to get the most fucking expensive suit. If you want to go get a fucking suit, you can go do so at a lot of different fucking places, bro. Men's Warehouse, shit like that. What's another one of the shit?
I even say you could go to Goodwill and just get a jacket and then slacks.
Yeah, what is it? And what is it? The shit that I sent. Something in J, some K and J, some bullshit like that.
It had an M, I think.
Some shit. There's a lot of There's a lot of places out there that you can get a suit for relatively cheap, like men's suits, things like that, where you can get suits for a couple $100s, if that, and you can make the shit work. You don't have to get a fucking $1,000 suit right now. Work with what's in your fucking budget,
and you can even get them tailored for like $20, $30 an alteration.
Exactly.
So.
And that's another thing as well. If you're going to get a suit, more often than not, I would recommend that you get the shit fucking tailored, right? If you're skinny and you have a big fucking baggy ass suit, even if you have the suit, it's not going to look like much because it doesn't fit you. So get a suit that fits you. I'm not saying buy a fucking skinny ass fucking suit. I'm just saying get some shit that goes with your body. So that is very, very important as well. And I'd like to add this here. You talked to it before, but I really want to harken on it. So you don't dress for where you are currently financially. You dress for where you want to be. And we go to these places, right? And we're having conversations with people, and I'm not saying that just to fucking brag, but we're having conversations with people who are millionaires, right? And they're dressed casually. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They made it, right? But we're two guys from Austin, Texas, from South Austin, right? And we had to fucking work our way to where we are now. We paying for all this fucking shit ourselves and built our fucking business from the fucking ground up, and we're in the early process of it. So we're not making millions and billions of dollars like they are just yet. But when we're in the environment that they are, when we're in the same places, then when we're in the establishment that only, holds people of this, type of caliber, what's a better way for us to fit in? Dress like how we want to dress, or dress how we want them to take us? And when I say that, I mean, do we want them to perceive us as two 25-year-olds, or do we want them to perceive us as two businessmen? Because when we have conversations with people and we're dressed how we're dressed, they're like, hey, how old are you? 25. Wow. I didn't know that you guys were that young. Why? Because of how we carry ourselves, how we speak, and how we fucking dress and how we present ourselves, right? So when you go to these places, if you have aspirations of being a part of these clubs, being a part of, someone who are people who have Lamborghinis, people who have fucking large mansions and all this type of shit, right? Then you're going to have to dress the part. And even when I say dress the part, more often than not, that's going to lead you to dressing more, I don't want to say excessively, but better than the people who actually have that. And I would say that's because you haven't earned that shit yet. You haven't earned the right to dress like that yet. On your way up, you're going to have to dress like a true fucking businessman in order to get some respect. That's the game. Life's not fair. But I promise you, when you do put on a fucking suit, when you look sharp, when you look dapper, people take notice, and people will, whether subconsciously or not, take you slightly more seriously, at least, because you have that on and you look presentable and you look like someone who means fucking business.
I had a great quote that just went like one of those cars driving away just took it.
It happens all the time, bro.
I know.
Hey, man.
Let me see if I can get this. You have to. People will not always know. Oh, no. Here we go. This is a Jose quote. When people know your name, you don't have to make your name known. But in order for that to happen, you have to dress the part, and you have to play the part, and you have to be the part. Very simple. When you walk into a room and people don't know who you are, you have to earn your reputation. Otherwise, there will come a day when everybody in that room knows who you are, and you don't have to dress up anymore because you are who you are.
There you go. And lastly, it's K&G suits. So if you need some cheap ass suit, I'm telling you, if you need cheap suits right now and you need to get some, K&G men's suits, Men's Warehouse is not as cheap, but is cheaper than, going to these other places and whatnot. And if you don't have any of those in your area, find something like that in your area, go there and get a suit or two. It's going to cost you a couple $100. That's fine. You can wear them shits all the fucking time, but it's just having a suit that fits you that matters. Don't worry about the price right now. Get a fucking suit. If you have a conversation with someone of some type of status or you're trying to get in business with, wear a fucking suit. You have an interview, wear a fucking suit. Because most people are coming looking very basic and having very basic attire. And if you have 50 interviews and everyone is dressed in fucking a polo and some khakis, and then you show up in a suit, who do you think they're going to remember?
The AM Club Podcast.
Signing out. Mic check.
The AM Club Podcast.